Now, I'm not over here telling you guys that we are building a full-blown W203 race car, but there will be some signs. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been tearing down the new W203 project car to what we have in front of us today. Because we want the car to be as light as possible, the interior only needs 2 seats and some aluminium covers to cover all the holes in the dash, and of course an on switch and a start button. That's about it. For today's video, I do want to get started on the suspension, so clean everything up, get it painted and start getting some stuff back onto the car. I also decided to get the engine bay painted as well as the wheel arches. Painting the whole underside of the car is going to be quite difficult, so I'll see what I can do about that. But I think once we get the arches and the engine bay painted and looking all nice and fresh, it should look a lot better already. I already spent yesterday cleaning and painting the rear coils and both stabilizer arms and a few other parts. Now that's more like it. These 20-year-old parts looked kind of rough, but cleaning them up, getting some fresh paint on them, makes them look a whole lot better. So I wanted to introduce a bit of color on the car and not just paint everything black like usual. So I thought I would do the rear coils and the 2 stabilizer arms in red and see how that looks. Now painting is the easy and exciting part. The real works come into the preparation before you start painting, so that's really time consuming. So I've decided today is going to be a cleaning day. If you look down here, I also have a few other parts that I still need to clean up and get painted. And then I got a cool new aluminium cleaner product that I'm using on the front cross member, and then the rear suspension setup. I need to still take everything apart, get that cleaned up and ready for some paint. Still need to finish cleaning up the steering rack and then also clean up the side shaft. I think I'm gonna remove these plates. I don't need them. Get that cleaned up, painted, and then we can get that in the diff, because I also do want to get that diff sorted out in this video, hopefully. Like I said, the preparation is the, well, not so fun part. So let's do that today, and then once we start laying down some paint, things should start looking really good.
everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good.
Alright, so just got the rice Benz moved to over there because I don't want to get any overspray onto it. It is somewhat windy today, but not too bad, and I think we can go ahead and start painting some things. So I easily spent more than 15 hours in total cleaning all these parts up, cleaning the car up, the wheel arches, engine bay, everything like that. And then we still need to take this octopus apart, clean it up, and then we can paint that as well. I couldn't really reach all the bolts and nuts while this was in the car, so I want to get that removed, cleaned up, painted, and then we'll put it back together. And then I will definitely need some help getting that thing back in the car because it is somewhat heavy. Now I am still waiting on a few parts, so we won't be able to get everything back together again. I definitely want to try to get some parts back on the car and see how it looks. I'm really excited about that. And then hopefully once we get the front cross member back, it's just over there. I cleaned it up a bit more. Once we get that back in the car, we can start getting the engine back in there or start building some mounts. We still have a lot to do before we get to that point, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just take that thing apart, start getting some paint on the stuff, and then see what we end up with. Would you just look at that? So hard work definitely paid off, or not hard work, but it is very time consuming and it's definitely far from perfect. But look at the engine bay, it looks so much cleaner. Got the front wheel wells as well, and then here at the back we also got them done. along with some of the underside of the car, but unfortunately with the spray gun you can't spray it upside down, so I just got everything that I could. And then this little piece that you can see from inside the trunk, it looks much cleaner than it did before. And then I won't be able to get the front suspension back in yet because I do want to swap the coils back around. So a while ago I got the cut springs out of the ricer Benz and swapped it out with this to lift up the front of the ricer Benz a bit, but now it's sitting too high for me in the front, so I do want to swap them back at some stage. And yes, so we'll be throwing these in just a second. Let me show you what's going on in the workshop over here. I still need to get the arms put back on this. Let me just do that. Lana Del Rey is going to get me copyrighted. But anyway, I got all the arms painted. Like I said, not perfect, but much better than before. Then I know I said I want to get the diff well sorted out. Still deciding on what the hell I'm going to do with that. But I think I'm 99% sure we are going to go with the lead route and get it locked that way. But yes, I still have the brakes to clean up, a lot of other things. But yeah, I just have a little station where I clean up all the bolts. Very time consuming, but I think it's all worth it. Working on a car with all shiny pieces and everything looking good is just much more fun than working on something that's absolutely filthy. And she was definitely a dirty girl. But anyway, let's get these few parts on the car and see how it looks. I'm pretty excited to see the little red insert. Like I said, it's the small details. And that's about how far we're going to get for this week's video. So I got a few things back in the front, still waiting on the coils and a few parts, the camber and caster arms. I need some new bushings for them, but damn does this look clean. Then when we moved to the back of the car, I also went ahead and got some help to get this monstrosity back into the car, and I'm so happy I went with the little red coils and that stabilizer arm. I just think it breaks all the black and just looks so good. This BMW also showed up, so I just need to replace the belt and the spark plugs, and of course I'm gonna go with some Mercedes spark plugs. The best or nothing, like they say. Who watched up until this point of the video, really do appreciate it. Please remember to hit that like button. I know this isn't the most interesting and the most fun things to do, but very happy with how things are turning out. I do still need to clean up the brake discs, front and back, and then the calipers. I do want to get them painted as well, just to make everything look really clean. Like I said, that's going to be it for this week's video. Come back next week and we'll see what we can get up to. Hopefully we can start getting that engine back in the car. But for now, it's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and then I'll see you in the next one.